Yeah, I gotten worked up to 1,500 acres there last year, and then this year it rained and rained, and I just got in 40 acres. We never could get in the field.
You know, I farmed in the 1980s. That's when I got broke in, as I was in my 20s then. And we've been farming ever since. And you've had good years, bad years, but nothing like this year. I can talk to people that's older than me, and they've never seen anything like it.
You know, I've had a lot of ups and downs, but more downs than ups, but I'd come through all of them, seem like, you know. But this year, I ain't gonna be able to make it. You know, it's done. If everybody be honest, they'll tell you the same thing, I think.
It's been 100 years that my great-granddaddy bought a place, and we've been in Lawrence County here farming pretty well all our life. Of course, they did it with mules back in their day, and my daddy actually plowed with a team of mules. I went into the row crop part side of the business, and we've been farming all our life. You know, I'm fourth generation. My son and daughter are fifth generation, and this year here has been really taxing on us. You know, the thing of where we're at is we're on Black River and Strawberry River is where we farm. And Strawberry River was out 5 times this year. The Black River's been out several times. The average rainfall in the year is 47 to 51 inches in Arkansas. And we were at 45.5 end of June. We had 31.3 inches in April, May, and June. 31.3 inches. That's, I mean, there's no way that you can get a crop in. We farmed 2,200 acres, and we've got 383 harvestable acres.
So this is the most devastating thing I've seen since 2003, since I started. Yeah, we did plant soybeans. We planted several hundred acres of soybeans, and after 2 floods, about the third flood got droughted the soybeans out. I mean, it's been a challenging year. It just nearly rained every day through the spring, and what we couldn't plant, you know, we've had to spend money on that ground, keeping the grass worked up and keeping, you know, spraying weeds and different things, and it's cost us about the same amount as what it would if we'd put the crop in, and then there's nothing to show for it, so it's pretty challenging. I've got a 17-year-old son. Yeah, he helps me every day. He does everything I do, but you know, and this is what I've worked for to try to get him going, you know, and there ain't nothing to really show for it. It's just tough. I don't know how he'd ever pick it up and make it. You know, even on what I've worked for and built up, the money still ain't there to sustain it. But you know, we don't really know if we can hang in there long enough to make that work or not, and it's pretty heartbreaking, really.
Going into this year, we were already behind the 8 ball. I mean, commodity prices were low. You had input costs, which are astronomical, and we've been trying to get by. You know, farming, you just, your heart's in it. It's what you've done all your life. And you know, I've got kids that want to farm. I got a grandson that rode a combine with me and said, "Grandpa, I want to be a farm boy." When he was 6 years old, and he turned 8 this week. A lot of people are in trouble because of the economy, because of what the past few years have brought. But in this general area, it's a double whammy for us, because we've been feeling the same thing that everybody else has been feeling up to this point. And then we got all this water, because we farm on rivers, and we farmed on them all our life. But we've never had a disaster like this that just completely wiped out crops.
Mainly the length and the period of time that they stayed underwater. Well, you know, the normal plant times, we hear 2 months later and they're still underwater, and there's no window to get it put in. So that was the major thing. We've seen floods and we've seen heavy rain, but not that many months, not that many days in a row. Yeah, it just never dried up. We had the planter sitting full of seed, sitting on ready, and never could pull a trigger.
This should be in rice field this year, right here. But it just couldn't happen because of the river. River got plumb over this and stayed there. The ground stayed wet. After crop insurance and after the 383 acres are harvested, we have nothing to live on. We have nothing to make payments on. There's nothing left. And to go from that wet of a year, in July it started turning. And we've went into a flash drought now where we're into a dark brown yellow. And after that you go to red. So we're in a drought right now. The grass is turning brown. We're experiencing something that this is generational. My parents didn't experience it, and going back, you'd have to go back to the 20s, probably my great-granddaddy, maybe in his time. Maybe they experienced something like this. But the flooding that came in and to not have any crop is devastating. It's going to take families out. It's already took them out. I've done it. You had bankruptcies this year at the start of the year that was record, and you had sales that were going on during planting season that people couldn't access a crop loan because it was just the end. And you're fixing to see, if you thought 80 was bad, 80 is going to be a drop in the bucket compared to what's fixing to happen this fall and the first of the year, because people are not going to be able to hang on without major help.
It's getting to where, you know, I'm going to have to sell off some land to pay the bank. You know, I mean, it's that bad. It's, I mean, I've been a farmer for a long time, and I've never seen it get this far out of hand. You know what I mean? I mean, the river done a lot of it, but the prices before a year or two ago hurt it to, you know, got the ball rolling. You know, it ain't gonna stop. Don't look like.
We need financial help, you know, whether it's per acre or however to get past this. But, you know, in the future, we kind of down on one leg anyways, because the market's been so rough the last 2 years. We've sold crops and already been losing money to get to this point. And then this here's kind of the icing on the cake. I mean, it's the only thing else I could say is we put our heart and soul in it, and it's a tough life, and we ain't getting paid to do it. I mean, we're wearing ourselves out and our equipment out, and we ain't getting nowhere. That's really all I can say.
Like I said, crop insurance hasn't changed since I had a meeting in 2018 on the damage that we had on Black River. It flooded in September when the beans were in the roasting ear, and it just completely destroyed them. And we lost about $140,000 that year. And here we are in 2025 with the same farm bill that we had in 2018. And so unless we get some major help, and I mean major help, it's not a little bit's not gonna work. It's gonna have to be a major help. You can't control the weather, and we were dealt this hand, and it's a bad hand, and there's no way out of it.